At the same time, we will know what they have been doing throughout the season. At the same time, remember, Harambee Stars are a different team altogether. They will be on the national duty. They want to get a maximum victory at the expense of Tanzania. Will they have it? We also will be listening from what Sebastian Minye has to say. Remember, also at the same time, a lot is expected from the Morans. They are doing Kenya proud. They will be playing in the African finals, a game that they are expected to win because they have showcased quite an important kind of outing, and they've had the positive results. Against the Congo, aside that they lost to in their opening campaign, will they redeem themselves and maybe win it this time out? They are confident, and it seems they are poised to go out there the same time to star. But let's begin the show by listening to Sebastian Minye. We know it is all about a national duty this time out, and Kenya ought to win that tie against Tanzania. The Tanzanians are saying we have to win that tie. They will be on a revenge mission, but Sebastian Minye on his side is saying he knows what he's expected to do. He will do it, and he has the foot soldiers who are confident. At the same time, they are poised to get that important 3 points at the expense of Tanzania. The team shaping up ahead of that game.
We try to prepare well this match and this new competition. It will be totally different with AFCON, with a new team. Also a new team for the locals because we lost at least half team with a window market. You know, Paul Were is not there, for example. Avire, I don't know where is he. Maybe you have news. If you have, you can tell me. Farouk left the country also, so we need to find a solution, and I hope we will have a good answer in a few days.
Do you think the departures you mentioned, the likes of Kahata, Avire, and Farouk, will affect the balance of the team heading into the game?
Of course, we lost a lot of mature players for this level, and it will be difficult, but it's always a good opportunity for some players to show me their quality. We will play with players without huge experience at this level, but it's an opportunity for them, for example, for the young Mazika to show me his quality. And if he's able in a soon time to play in the first national team, maybe.
And you played against Tanzania in the AFCON. They have most of the players who played there are local-based players. They'll be in the Chan team definitely. What do you expect from them? Do you expect anything different?
It's a huge difference. For example, we discussed this morning with my staff, except Dennis, who played with us during AFCON. For them, they have maybe 7 or 8 players in the first 11 who play against us in AFCON. It's a huge difference, but what can I do? I have to work harder, and we will see.
No, there is a lot of expectation from these Harambee Stars side, but the reality is in the Africa Cup of Nations, they try to do what they ought to have done. A lot of critics say that it is a side that had what it takes to go up to the maybe quarterfinals stage, but people will give them credit because the team that won the Africa Cup of Nations and also the team that finished second, they are the two teams that were on the same group with this Harambee Stars side. A lot of talks about how Sebastian Minye always lines up. At the same time, a lot of talk about Sebastian Minye and his technical bench. One important person in that technical bench is Francis Kimanzi. For now, Francis Kimanzi has said that I will take my 100% focus to the national team. That means he has resigned from Mathare United. Remember, from Mathare United, his assistant coach was Salim Ali. Now Salim Ali takes the reins and he is the official manager of this Mathare United. For Salim, actually, his also managerial career has quite a number of pedigree because he's also been able to coach Ulinzi Stars. He's been able to coach Sofapaka. So he's saying that I know what I'm supposed to do and I will do it with a lot in mind because I know Mathare United, it is a side that has been able to win this Kenyan Premier League. For Kimanzi now, he's saying that my focus 100% is with the national team and is confident that now together with Sebastian Minye, they will be able to aid this Harambee Stars aside and maybe they will bag Chan this time out.
For Mombasa United, I think I think you are a little bit late, but I discussed about the hard decision that you have to make from a club to another duty. But because of the environment, of the projection that I had before with the players, especially the young ones. But in life, I said earlier that you have to make a decision sometimes that is a hard decision. So you have to be close to the game. You know, in terms of being around the game means you can always consult other clubs and help. And I've always been engaged in other levels with the youth players. So I'll try to have a balance in between, but I cannot be very far from the game, of course, because that is what we want to do on a daily basis. Of course, you have to look at where you are moving. Are you sort of demoting yourself, or are you promoting your own development as well? That's always very, very important.
We know Kimanzi has been in the country for quite a number of years, and we have seen what he's been able to do with his Mathare side and also at the national side. Remember also, for him, he's been having a lot of responsibilities. Others are arguing that that is why Mathare United have not been having the best kind of results, because he has been given the responsibility to aid the under-23 side. At the same time, he's been there on the national duty, but all in all, for the betterment of the country. But now, he's saying my focus will be the national team altogether, and maybe will be able to aid this Mathare United side and maybe to bag a title this time out. But back to Chan, because we have a team that Sebastian Minye together now with Francis Kimanzi have named, and that is a team that is expected to go out. They're already in Tanzania, and for them the quest is very, very simple. See if they will be able to get a victory at the expense of Tanzania. We will hear what the Tanzanians are saying, but this is a team, Harambee Stars, there, James Saruni, goalkeeper, and also John Oyemba. Remember, for John Oyemba, he has been in the system for quite a number of times, but also for James Saruni, one of the best goalkeepers, one will argue, in the Kenya, who plays here locally. So those are the two that have been given that responsibility. We look at the defenders. We have quite a number. From Mathare United, we have Johnson Omura. We also have David Owino. We have Bernard Ochieng, Mike Kibwage, and also Josh Onyango. Josh Onyango, actually, he missed that opportunity to start in the Africa Cup of Nations. Remember that injury that he sustained before the Algeria game. So it kept him out. Maybe he will have what it takes to be able to be that one important factor in this defensive lineup. We move on and we look at the other players in that team, the midfielders. Dennis Odhiambo, he played quite a number of matches in the Africa Cup of Nations, but remember he got injured, and the person who came in, that is Omolo, John Omolo, when he came in, he also showed a very, very beautiful kind of game. But Dennis Odhiambo is the most experienced player in the local best players that will be playing in Chan this time out, and with that he will be wearing the armband when Kenya plays against Tanzania tomorrow. Kenneth Maguna is also there, Ibrahim Shambi is also there, Duke Abuya is also there, and even Isuza. They will be expected to try as much as possible to see if they will facilitate the striker and give them those balls, and for them, they also ought to score. We move on because we have quite a number of people who are expected actually to start in that midfield. Abdallah Hassan is also there. We've seen how Abdallah Hassan plays for Bandari and how important he is for Bernard Mwalala. Samuel Onyango is also there, but a lot of talks about Clifton Miheso and his signing, because there has been a signing that a lot of people are saying it is a rush signing. He has joined the Kenya Police. Remember, he was unattached 1 week ago, but now he joins Kenya Police, and he will be expected to play an important role for these Harambee Stars local-based players when they play against Tanzania tomorrow. Clifford Miheso, he did not make the cut in the Africa Cup of Nations, but he's here. Maybe he will be able to make some good kind of play that will aid this side. Musa Masika is also there. Teddy Asok is also there. But think about the forwards. Who are the guys that we expect to score those goals for Kenya? Nicholas Kipkurui has been instrumental for Gor Mahia, and a lot of critics questioned why he was not included in the Africa Cup of Nations. Maybe he will showcase what we missed when he was not there in the Africa Cup of Nations, and in Chan he will have his opportunity, and maybe he will score those goals. You will not rule out Enoch Ochieng, because for Enoch Ochieng, he's been able to bang in some number of goals for Ulinzi Stars in the concluded season, and is here is also expected to start. Piston Mutamba and also Sydney Lukole, they will be expected to have an impressive kind of outing, and maybe with that they will be able to aid Kenya get that victory against Tanzania. We're thinking about this Tanzania side, but the Tanzanians are saying that they are also on a revenge mission. 3-2 was the final score when Kenya played last against Tanzania in the Africa Cup of Nations, and for them they're saying it is a simple revenge mission, a game that they will take with a lot of seriousness because they simply don't want Kenya to progress to the next round.
Na haya ndio mashindano ambayo kwa hali yetu sisi ya sasa hivi ndio mashindano ya msisitizo zaidi, kwa sababu yale tulikuwa tunashiriki kule wengi wa wachezaji ni wa nje. Timu ya Tanzania tu ndio ilikuwa na wachezaji wengi wa ndani. Sasa bahati nzuri au mbaya, wale waliokuwa wanacheza kule wengi wao watakuwa tena kwenye timu hii kwa sababu wanacheza, lakini wenzetu Senegal utakapocheza nao watakuwa ni wachezaji wapya wanaocheza ligi za ndani, kwa sababu wale wanacheza ligi za nje hawana nafasi. Sisi wa kwetu ni wachache zaidi. Kwa hiyo haya ni mashindano ambayo ni ya muhimu zaidi, lakini pia na umuhimu wake kulipiza kisasi kwa Kenya. Wafunge Kenya kwa kisasi cha kutufunga kule goli 3-2, lakini kwa kisasi pia cha kuwatoa kwenye mashindano haya. Sababu tukao tumewafunga sisi, tutakuwa tumewatoa kwenye mashindano haya, tunakwenda kucheza hatua ya pili na Sudani, na Mwenyezi Mungu akijalia tukimfunga Sudani tutakuwa tumequalify, tunaingia tena kwenye chani mara ya pili baada ya kuingia mara ya kwanza.
It's never that good to say that you focus on the revenge mission because you really cannot tell what will happen in that time. Maybe Kenya again will be able to win at the expense of Tanzania. But something positive about the Tanzanian side, the Tanzanian team that went to Africa Cup of Nations had quite a number of local-based players. Remember the Kenyan team that will be playing actually tomorrow against Tanzania, quite a number of them did not feature in the Africa Cup of Nations because we had the experienced players who play abroad, and also quite a number of players from the Kenyan Premier League have just been signed and they will be playing in different nationalities. Does that give Tanzania an upper hand? Others will say yes, but you really cannot tell because Sebastian Minye is saying that that is not an issue. They know how the Kenyans